It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
ShipShape is being brought to you in part by the Marine Industries Association of Palm Beach County, boating, the lifestyle of Palm Beach County, and by High Seas Fabrication, the finest in marine metal fabrication, and by Stella Marine, a crest above the rest, and by Ocean Marine, worldwide excellence in marine air conditioning.
Welcome to ShipShape, the TV show specifically designed for you, the mariner. I'm John Greviskis, your host, and this is my partner and senior technical advisor, Burt Delph.
Such a big title. Folks just call me the guy that does the work.
Getting back to the topic at hand, ShipShape is a boat improvement show. Each week we'll do a new project, ranging from simple how-tos to major restorations of this area's prettiest vessels.
One of the neat things about doing a boat improvement show is the topics are endless, and here's how you can be involved.
If you have any projects that you're interested in having us cover, please drop us a line or fax us at this number.
Write your project suggestions to ShipShape, the TV show. Attention Project Director, Post Office Box 31561, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida 33420. Or fax us at area code 407-626-4348.
Today's project will be the installation of a steering cable and helm on this 21-foot Glasscrafter powerboat. Burt, what happened here?
A friend of mine, this is his boat. He was down in the Keys, Cujo Key, matter of fact, and they were out fishing. And on the way back from fishing, noticed the boat would turn to the right, but wouldn't turn back to the left. And finally, it just locked up completely. So they had to get towed in.
So there's no doubt about it. We've got to replace the steering cable here.
Yeah, the cable and helm are. It's a 1978 boat, and they're both original equipment, the cable and helm. So. They're shot.
I think it's time to replace it.
Yes.
Let's get started. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find out what kind of cable we're looking at here. Burt, what do we have?
Okay, what we have here is a Teleflex steering system. This is a 17-foot cable. The part number is right on the front here of the shield of the cable. The first number in the part number is the length of the cable that you will need. You'll take down the entire number and give it to your parts house where you're going to purchase your cable, and they'll be able to determine exactly what you need, or they can cross-reference it to a comparable cable.
Well, while Burt sets up, I'm going to go over and speak with our parts expert, Larry Cooper, over at Boat Owners Warehouse. Hey, guys.
Good morning, John.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Is Larry in?
Let me go get him for you.
Great.
What you working on today?
Oh, we're putting in a new steering cable and helm.
Okay. Larry's pretty good with it, and he'll help you out.
He sure is. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
All right.
Hi, Larry.
Hey, John.
How are you? Good.
Not bad.
Good. We're working on a steering cable and helm today, and I was wondering if you had any ideas.
Oh, yeah. We've got several options for you in stock.
Great. Can we go take a look?
Sure.
Well, this looks like the Teleflex section of the steering cables. Larry, can you tell us what we have here?
Yes, we have all the accessories here. We have the cables by themselves, and we have the helm, and all of our accessories for installation, the bezels and the tube systems.
Okay. Well, we're working on the 21-foot Glasscrafter today. It has a Johnson 150 on the back. What do you recommend?
I'd recommend the Teleflex rotary system and the Helm, and
Okay.
we need a new bezel for that.
Any other options?
There's other options. There's the hydraulic system that you could put on there if the owner was interested in that option.
What are we talking about there? I didn't really think of even presenting a hydraulic situation with such a small boat. Are more and more smaller boats doing that?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
It's a little more investment cash-wise, because
Right.
it runs about $600 or $700 to do that,
Versus,
versus about less than $200 for the system we're going to put on.
so there is quite a bit of a price consideration on that.
Yes, there is.
But the advantages of the hydraulic would be?
You wouldn't feel the torque so much from the engine. Also, ease of steering, and also if they're thinking of ever putting on a autopilot for fishing or anything
There
like
you go.
that, it's much easier on that system.
Being down here in South Florida, fishing's a real consideration out there. Can we take a look at any of the new accessories or any of the new technologies that are out in the steering cables?
Yeah, I have your system set up in the back.
Okay. Well, I see that you've set this all up for us, Larry, to take a look at. What exactly do we have?
We have the Teleflex steering system. This is their new quick disconnect system,
Okay.
where we have a pin that holds the cable in place.
Wow.
Instead of the old style nut.
That's convenient.
Makes the installation a little quicker.
Sure.
We have the tube where the cable feeds in and out of, keeps it clean.
Right.
We have the 90-degree bezel that fits
Okay.
this application.
Great.
And we have the 17-foot cable here in the box.
It's fantastic. You know, Larry, I was over in the section looking at all the cable and everything, and I noticed all the bezels. You have quite an array of different types of bezels. You have some 90-degree, 20-degree. How do you know which one's right for your project? Especially with today, like you were saying, people are buying more and more of the individual components.
It's best if they can bring in the old part for us. It's easier for us to match it up, no
Right.
matter what it is. On this installation, we picked out a 90-degree because it fit the contour of the console.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure this is going to do the trick for our job and our project today. I just can't thank you enough for being on Ship Shape. And until next time, thanks a lot, Larry.
Thank you very
I
much.
appreciate
It's
it.
a pleasure.
Stay on course. Shipshape. We'll be right back.
Surehold brushes are the go-to choice worldwide for quality deck brushes, featuring split-end bristles that hold more soap and water for effortless and effective cleaning, an iconic solid wood block that is exceptionally durable and long-lasting, a rubber built-in safety bumper that protects surrounding surfaces from accidental damage, corrosion-resistant fittings made from marine-grade alloys that will never rust or corrode, SureLock system compatibility for positive locking into any Surehold handle, quickly and easily change brushes while saving space and time. Each Surehold brush is proudly built in the USA to Surehold's famous quality standards. Surehold, clean and simple.
Burt, here you go.
Oh, is this what Larry recommended?
Sure is.
All right, let's get started.
Great.
All right, what we're going to do is take apart the helm here, drop it down out of the way. Actually, the mounting bracket's already rusted completely in two. It's a good thing we're changing this out. What I'm using here is just standard everyday hand tools. Just you don't need anything special really to do this job. It's a pretty straightforward installation. Standard combination wrenches, ratchets, screwdriver, pliers. You'll be able to do the job. Not hard at all. You might want to have some rags handy because reaching up underneath this old greasy helm, you're going to get a handful of grease. Okay, I pulled the bolts out of the mounting plate here, and I'm going to pull these 7/16 bolts out of the mounting plate. That'll drop the helm straight through the console here, and we'll be able to pull it out. This is just as simple as pulling the bolts out of the mounting plate here. They're a lot longer, but it's no big deal. Actually, all you need is one wrench because they're threaded into the helm itself. So it's a piece of cake.
I noticed, Burt, that the bolts that you're taking out are stainless. I know a lot of situations they don't have stainless.
Well, Gary has been into the steering system once before. It gave him trouble, you know, and he tried to prolong the life of the steering as long as he could before he had to replace it. So the reason the stainless is in here is he he had replaced out the old steel bolts, and it's a good thing he did.
Well, it's probably a good idea to use stainless in any kind of repair situation where...
Any marine application, if it's accessible to salt, it will rust. So if you can put a replace with stainless, you're much better off. And we're going to pull the helm out of the mounting plate, and we'll lay the helm right down here on the deck. It's a good thing that we're going to replace the mounting plate along with the helm, because the corner is rusted completely off the plate itself. Okay, let's take a look at how to pull the cable out of the engine. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the steering linkage that connects the cable to the engine. It's just a 9/16 nut, real piece of cake extraction here. Now we'll slide the linkage out of the cable, and we'll go over to the other side of the engine, and we'll back off the big nut that holds the cable into the engine itself. I'm using these channel locks to hold the shield in place while I back the nut off so it doesn't spin, because the salt has built up over the nut and is kind of like seized itself to the shield. Okay, I've got the steering cable loose from the tube here. Now I'm going to be able to taking this spiral wrap off so we can pull the cable through. Ideally, you want to take your spiral wrap off, and instead of trying to put it back on after it's set in the sun and kind of conform to its shape, you'll probably want to replace it with new spiral wrap. Would be the easiest thing to do. You can reuse the spiral wrap if you want, but it's so cheap to buy and easy to install when it's new. You're better off to unwrap the spiral wrap instead of using like a razor blade to cut it, because you could cut a fuel line or your battery cable or whatever, and then you would get salt intrusion or you could have fuel leakage. So it's just better to take the time and unwrap it to be on the safe side. All right, we got the cable out of the engine itself here. What we're going to do now is we're going to tie a piece of nylon rope on the bolt hole here. That way when we pull it through the rigging tube, we get it up on the other end there, we'll be able to tie the rope on the end of the new cable and feed it back through the rigging tube without any snags or any trouble at all. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, we should be able to pull the cable through from right here under the center console without much difficulty at all. Let me get myself situated down in here. Okay, seems to be sliding through fairly easy. Once in a while you might have to push back on it and then pull back again, just kind of free it up, because it does get a little tangled with some of the other stuff that you have in your rigging tube, but it shouldn't bother it. We got the cable out now. We got a rope right up here where we want it, where we can tie the new one on. So let me get myself situated and we'll start putting the new cable in. All right, now that we've feeding the cable through, it's good to have a second person to kind of help pull the end of the cable through as you're guiding it in up on this end here. There you go. You got that big nut out there, John?
Sure do. The big nut's out.
Pull a couple of feet to you.
Okay. How's that?
A little more. Okay, that should be good enough right there. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little grease on the steering shaft itself here. That just ensures, you know, when you get it in there, you definitely got grease on it. And it helps prolong the life of your steering cable itself. You don't have to put a lot, just a light film. And it helps to reinstall. Okay, we're going to reconnect the steering arm to the cable itself. Just drop it in like that. Put your self-locking nut on, back on the end of it, and tighten her up. Okay, we're going to reinstall the helm and cable. I have the helm here, and the helm is a lot easier to install than the one that we took out. It has a retaining pin that you just slide in place, and it keeps the cable in. You don't even need the jam nut that was on the old cable. So the new helms have come a long way. You can use the steering wheel to crank your cable in, and when it gets in here, it will lock into place. You'll hear it click, and you're there. And then pull your wheel back off, Reinstall your locking pin. Instructions are right on it. Piece of cake. And you're ready to install. I'm going to put the helm into the mounting bracket, slide it up, meet our holes up here. Okay, we're going to slide our new cover over our shaft, make everything look nice. Drop in our new stainless screws. Okay. Now we're going to put our keyway into the shaft itself. Then drop our wheel on and tighten the nut up. Okay, now all we have to do is put our dust cap on and we can take it for a ride.
Ship Shape will be right back.
Hi, I'm John Greviskis with ShipShape TV. Look at this guy and all the products he needs to maintain his boat. I guarantee you he'll be tripping over that stuff all day long. Forget that nonsense. Use what I use, the SureHold family of products, the one handle that does it all. Any one of these quality-built SureHold attachments easily locks right into place, and here's the best part. They're the best quality items money can buy. You have my word on it. Whether it's for your car, truck, RV, or boat, keep it ship-shape with SureHold products. I'm in Stuart, Florida at Stella Marine, and with me is the owner of Stella Marine, Bob Stella. Bob, again, welcome to ShipShape.
Okay, John, good to see you.
I understand we're going to be taking a look at this 30-foot Pursuit. Can you tell us a little bit about this boat, Bob?
Well, this is a brand new boat. It came out last year, and it's been a very, very good seller for us. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I'd like to tell you about it.
Sure, let's go.
Okay, first of all, you notice the helm.
I do. This is nice.
You've got 360-degree visibility all the way around.
Nice feature. Real nice feature. This looks to be aluminum.
That's right. It's an aluminum cast wheel. It's better than a lot of the stainless steel wheels that are out there because it won't get heated up during the day when you're out there fishing.
That makes sense.
Plus, for cleaning, it's very, very easy. You just wipe it down.
Sure, that's a nice feature. They've paid a lot of attention to detail on this.
Well, this boat's a cut above, as you know, quality-wise, and some of the features that you've seen in the boat make it a Pursuit, make it the boat it is. You notice the helm?
Yes, I see this. This is all set for flush mounting your electronics.
Yeah, it just came in, otherwise I'd have all the electronics on there, but it's a very, very easy job. It's very deep. It'll accommodate some of your large fish and video depth finders, radars, and the whole helm pulls right back so you can get accessibility into the back of it.
I gotcha. That's a nice feature. Now, what do we have here?
That's good for storage. I'm just putting charts in there for the day.
Okay.
Anything really, you know, it's a
So this will keep your charts dry.
keep them all dry.
Fantastic. What do we have in the cuddy cabin?
In the cuddy cabin, of course, it has a nice entry. You can sleep 4. It has a forward berth, and it has an over-under berth on the starboard side. It has a private head.
Nice floor.
It's teak-and-holly floor. It's got a private rack in there, closet, just for your rod storage.
Fantastic.
All the details have been really thought out nicely.
Sure. How wide is the beam on this boat? I mean, I'm looking at 3 seats here. You know, that's not normal.
This boat's a 12-foot beam, and these seats are great because down your mates can be very comfortable when you're hitting some rough water out there. And again, they're 360 degrees.
Fantastic.
Turning around and cruising, looking at the fish, the visibility is great.
What do we have down below you?
That's a quick access to your engine room.
Okay.
And of course, this whole engine room is hydraulic.
Can we take a look at that?
Let's take a look.
Let's go. Bob, what are you doing here?
I'm going to show you the engine room.
But this must be a hydraulic setup.
It sure is. It's real impressive, and it's a great feature. You don't have to lift up anything.
I see that. That is
easy,
fantastic.
accessible.
Well,
You know, the older we get, our knees get older. We don't have to bend down too much.
Let's take a look at the engines and see what we have here.
You look
How
at-
is this boat powered?
Well, this got Volvo inboard diesel engines.
Okay.
And it's a very economical boat. The boat will cruise at 28 miles an hour.
Right.
It's got a 450-mile range,
Nice.
and it's very quiet.
Well, they've really laid this thing out. So this is all hydraulic. You don't have to worry about moving anything. Do you have a quick access into the
You have a quick
engine?
access, which is right behind your helm seat,
Okay, great.
which makes it real easy. You know, if someone's standing there and you just want to check your fluid levels.
Right.
But you can crawl right in there, work, change your filters. It's real neat. It's a great feature.
Fantastic. Well, I see back here we have a couple of hatches and stuff.
Yep.
Let's take a look at what we have.
Notice
What do we have
this
here, Bob?
also has your herringbone non-skid on the floor, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
a trademark.
This is so important when you're fighting fish,
Oh.
to have this kind of a deck.
But you know what it is, you're moving around and this stops you from slipping.
Sure. What do we have down here?
Back here you're looking at your hydraulic steering and also your rudders.
Okay.
Okay, and a bilge pump back there, and it's
Great
again,
access.
It's accessible, and-
Sure,
and that's where it's
sure.
at today.
Sure. This is good.
You start paying $48 to $50 an hour and more
Right.
for servicing, and this eliminates taking anything apart.
Absolutely. Now this is what? What do we have here?
Back here you got your large fish box.
They designed it so the fish box is on the back of the boat.
It's on the back of the boat and it drains right out, so nothing drains into your cockpit. And this opens from both ends.
What an idea. So when you're down here gaffing a fish, boom, you can just bring it and throw it right into the box.
That's right.
You're not going to get all the blood and guts on the deck.
And imagine this, you can come back here and you can open up this transom door.
Nice feature.
For the big ones.
Oh my.
Well, it's good for fishing and diving. You know,
Sure.
these types of boats, people dive with them.
Very easy to get in and out.
We don't have a swim platform on it because this is set up for fishing, but it's very simple to put one on.
Okay, great. Again, I see that we don't have any cleats.
Right, everything
Back
is set
here.
back down in your house pipes.
Everything recessed. That's nice.
Right. You notice your big scuppers for your water,
Right.
so everything drains right out,
Beautiful.
and they're good and high.
Well, this is quite a tower that you have here.
It's
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's really easy for accessibility. You know, most towers years ago, you had to crawl underneath bars
Right.
and then get up there and you had this one little seat. This one here, you walk up, you walk right through like a gentleman, and you sit down. It's got a large rocket launcher and a leaning post. I'll get you up there later.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
We're up on top in this tower, Bob, and we're talking about one spectacular 360-degree view.
Notice how easy it was for you to get up there. You didn't have to crawl under anything.
Plenty of headroom, but you feel very secure up here. You have a very large leaning post or rocket launcher back here. This will comfortably seat 2 or 3 people. And when you're moving in those ways, you feel totally safe.
You sure do. Very secure.
Again, I see that you have the aluminum wheel. Now, it's a hot floor today,
That's pretty cool.
and
isn't
my
it?
hands are in the direct sun on this wheel, and there is not a problem in the world with this. That's a great feature. And Pursuit has really paid particular attention to detail with the color coordination of the boat. I mean, if you look at the gold, tying in with the gold rod holders, downstairs, upstairs, everything matches. They really did this thing right.
It's a real class boat, isn't it?
Let's take it for a spin.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Well, Bob, thanks again for being on Ship Shape.
Okay, John.
Let's go fishing.
All right, let's go. We're ready.
Stay on course. Ship Shape will be right back.
Well, thanks for watching Ship Shape.
And a special thanks to Seminole Boatyard for letting us use this fine facility.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship shape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ship shape means trouble-free. Ship shape means being neater. Ship shape makes boat work easier. Ship shape is the